So, Matt's grandparents went to Chris Bishop went to Parliament, and Parliament, well, last night, it agreed.
It passed unanimously, so we went through unanimously through all the stages, actually. I think everyone could see the logic and the merit in it, and we tidied it up at Select Committee, improved it, actually, and it passed its third reading yesterday.
So what does it give people who are donors?
So what it does is it creates an entitlement for live organ donors for them to be compensated at 100% of what they are earning before the surgery during their recuperation. So, a big barrier for live organ donors is obviously the time they have to take off work. So typically the recovery period is between 4 and 12 weeks at the upper end. And that's obviously, and you can't work in that time, you're essentially recovering and recuperating. And so for a lot of people, they have to make an enormous financial sacrifice. And at the moment, you get the equivalent of the sickness benefit, and that's obviously manifestly unfair for people. And so what the bill will do will mean that you get what you're earning before the operation, basically. So you're not better off from having the surgery, from doing the altruistic donation, but you're not worse off as well. And that's the principle of cost neutrality, and that's what the United Kingdom's done. That's what some other countries are doing as well, and it's now what will be the law in New Zealand.
And given our woefully low rate of live donors, it's actually not going to cost the government terribly much, is it?
Well, I reckon, and actually the modelling backs this up as well. So there's been some quite interesting research out of the University of Canterbury by Dr. Elizabeth Prasad, who did a master's thesis on this, that it will actually save the government money because dialysis is extraordinarily expensive, obviously, for the health system to provide. So the more people we can get having those donations, having live organ donations, the more people we can get off dialysis and back leading healthy and productive lives, paying tax, obviously, and of course not incurring that expense. That's not the major driver of it, I've got to say. It's not the major driver of the bill, but it's obviously an extremely nice byproduct of it.
We do have, and there's no nice way of putting this, an abysmally, shamefully low rate of organ donation, both live donation and after death. Is it time to look at other things to encourage people to do to become donors? For example, do we need to have a situation where we are all donors and we have to opt out rather than opt in?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at that. I mean, the Minister of Health, Jonathan Coleman's, in parallel with my bill going through, has been doing a review of our deceased donation regime, which is essentially when you die and you have the opportunity potentially to give up a part of your organs. And he's put a consultation document out there. He's doing a review, and the officials have gone away and looked at that, and there'll be some announcements and decisions made on that in due course. But the evidence is that actually that the best way of raising the rate of deceased donations is the behaviour and the culture in the ICU by doctors in hospitals. It's about asking family members would they be comfortable with their loved one who is about to pass on. Would they be comfortable, do you think, with them donating, and explaining to them about the benefits, the enormous benefits that you can give to somebody else who's obviously still alive.
Are you a donor? Have you got that down on your driver's licence?
Yep, I've got it on my driver's licence, and most importantly, I've told my loved ones that I'd like to be a donor because what's on your driver's licence, and a lot of people don't know this, but what's on your driver's licence is not legally binding. So it's really important you tell your family members because they're the people that the doctors go to. If you're ever in that unfortunate circumstance of a horrific car crash, the doctors are going to go ask your family and say, do you think Chris or John or anyone, do you think they would be comfortable with donating a kidney or liver to help somebody out?
Chris Bishop, the MP whose members' bill on getting compensation for people as they recover after being donors was unanimously passed by the House last night. Unanimity in Parliament, not that common.